Good day, good people. It's Stephanie, and welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you are returning. Today I'm going to continue with another ink swatch party / exploration. And today we're going to be swatching, or I'm going to be swatching, Teranishi inks. Also, in my quest to try to find what I want to ultimately choose for my ink swatching um, notebook or journal for 2026, I'm using a third type of paper within the last few videos. If you've seen my last few ink swatching videos, I've used the Irreful, I've used the Stology, and today I'm using a Hobonichi Day Free. So again, I'm just using all the different papers that I have to try and see what I want to settle on for um, next year's ink swatch journal. And if you know anything about me, I may end up with all three of these again because I kind of do things by my mood anyway. So I say all that to say we're in the Hobonichi Day Free, and we're going to be looking at Teranishi inks for today's swatch party and ink exploration. I have 7 different inks here. I have Nostalgic Honey. I have the Emotional Olive. And I think those are the two most popular, or two that we hear about often in this line. I have Opera Rose. We do hear about that one too. I have Smoky Navy. I have Modern Red, Antique Black, and then Lady Emerald. So those are the different colors in the Teranishi ink line that I have for us to take a look at today. Okay, let's start with Smoky Navy. I am not sure if any of these are shimmers. I don't really remember, but we shall see. Okay, Smoky Navy. Pretty navy color. Okay. I decided to enlist a little assistance with my vowel holder. Smoky. They didn't have an E. Navy. Okay. And I wanted to use my Kakamori nib today. All right. I can see why it's called smoky by the way it's attempting to dry down. Next, let's stay in the blue family and let's do Lady Emerald. Forgot to look to see if that was a shimmer. My fault, guys. Okay. Lady Emerald. Now see, you guys know When it comes to my blues, I like a little teal turquoise party. Okay. Lady Emerald. I like that. Okay, yeah, that's pretty. Decided to lean the nib a little bit on my figure eights that time to get a little bit more color out, a little thicker. Okay. Lady Emerald. Nostalgic Honey is what we will look at next. And I'm going to move this over here. And maybe that'll help. In that crossover I hate to do with you guys. And I've seen Nostalgic Honey swatched before. But in all honesty, I don't ever really remember what it looks like until I see it again. And I don't know if that's an indication of how I feel about the ink or what. Okay. Sorry for that background noise. I don't know how I feel about Nostalgic Honey. I want it to have a little bit more brown in it, but that's just my preference. Oops, there we go. Okay. Because I don't know. I thinking about my pen collection, I don't even know what would come to mind for me to put this in. What pen would come to mind for me to even put that color in? If you guys have this ink and love it, tell me a little bit more about it in the comments. What does it work best in? What do you have it inked in? You know I want to know so I can try it too. Because it's just not jumping out at me right now. And I know that's probably an unpopular opinion about this color. Okay. Emotional Olive. Every time I think I'm going to swatch and try to do, a specific shape that I have in mind or swirl or it never happens. It always ends up in this same blob that you see here. We're going to have to put it down here, and that's okay. I almost said emotional honey. This is emotional olive. And see, to me, this seems like a light olive as well. Just like I think Nostalgic Honey needs a little more brown, I would give this emotional olive a little more green. But that's probably why I don't work in manufacturing and creating inks. And nobody asked me. But I'm just giving my little opinion. And I'm just talking to my pen and ink friends. So tell me what you guys think. Mm. And it could just be the swatching too, because I don't think I did the best job. And that's okay too. Okay, and we have Opera Rose for our next color. And like I said earlier, if you guys have these colors, talk to me about it. If you have different colors, let me know, because these are just the colors I chose, like I said, from this lineup of Teranishi inks. Do you have some other colors? You guys know I like deeper, darker tones, or even brighter. Maybe that's what it is. Because to me, these just seem a little too light just for my preference, is all it is. Because this Opera Rose is pretty, but is it legible when you guys write with it? Is a color that really stands out in on your pages, in your journals, in your planners? Because see, with this color, just because it was popular, I almost just bought a whole bottle. And now that I'm looking at the swatch, I would have regretted it, because I don't think it's a color I would just use like that per se. But again, it's a pretty color. You guys get what I'm saying? Yeah, that is a pretty rose color. Okay. And then I'm going to do modern red, and I'll save the antique black for last, because I'll just squeeze it in at the bottom of this page. I hope I'm in frame. I apologize if I haven't been. Didn't recap Opera Rose. Okay, and this is modern red. Okay. Pretty nice, basic red. Mm-hmm. Again, for me, I would go a little deeper. But it is a pretty color. Modern red. Okay. And then my Kakimori nib. Let's lean it again. I got to practice that. Practice the widths of how to use the nib. Okay. Modern red. And then lastly, I have antique black that I'm just going to make it fit on the page. Kind of just right here. Okay. I'm liking this as a black. It's not a, that dark, just black. It's got some shades to it. It's pretty too. You guys know I'm always looking for the different blacks. And what's funny is right now, especially in my journal, I'm using a whole bunch of different colors, just, enjoying myself and using the colors that I have. But I'm always on the quest for black, but I can't say that I have many pens inked up with black. I mean, I have some everyday writers inked up with black, but the way I talk about it, you would think every pen I own has somebody's black ink in it. But that is not the case. But I am happy to see that I would like this black as well. Nice. Okay. Let me put the cap back on so I don't spill that everywhere before we look in detail at these inks. Okay, guys. Sorry, I didn't mean to shake the table. We have the Teranishi inks. We have the Teranishi inks in the Day Free Tomoe River paper in the Hobonichi Day Free. We have the Smoky Navy, and I like that. I like that color. It has some shading in it. I don't know if the camera's really picking it up. And right now I am filming in mostly natural light. So I apologize for that too. One of my lights is not on because I didn't charge the battery. But anyway, we have Lady Emerald. And I like that as well. You can see the shading there. We have Nostalgic Honey. And I blabbed about that while I was swatching it. Would like that to be more brown. Emerald Olive would like that to be more green. But hey, it is what it is. And I don't really like that saying, so I don't know why I said that. Opera Rose. What I found interesting about this is that there's shading and sheening. There's also a little bit of feathering right there. But I see 3 different colors. I see the rose. I see a little bit of lavender. Then it's almost taking an orangey tint turn to me. That's interesting. Then we have the modern red. A little bit of shading there. And then we have this black that I love that I think just has dimension in it to be a black color. Okay. Teranishi ink swatch party complete. Please share your thoughts. Let me know in the comments again. Do you have these inks? Do you like these inks? Do you have different colors within this ink family? Give me some suggestions if you have any. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please press the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And until the next time we see each other, love on your family, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.